It's July 24th, and the strange side of history awaits. Today, we have a ship that became a death trap without setting sail, astronauts treated as if they carried something unknown from the moon, an attack so bizarre it literally blocked out the sunlight. Let's begin. On July 24th, 1915, more than 2,500 people boarded the SS Eastland, but the ship would never leave the dock. At approximately 7:28 in the morning, while still tied to the wharf on the Chicago River, the Eastland began leaning towards the water. Passengers slid across the deck, furniture crashed against the walls. Then, in less than 2 minutes, the entire ship rolled to its side. Those stranded above deck climbed onto the exposed hull, but hundreds trapped inside were plunged into darkness as water rushed through the windows and doors. The Eastland came to rest in only 20 feet of water, just 20 feet from the shore. Safety laws introduced after the Titanic disaster had added heavy lifeboat rafts to its upper decks, worsening the instability of a ship that was already dangerously top-heavy. Rescuers cut through the hull, listening for survivors beneath the metal, but 844 people died, including 58 children and 22 entire families. They had boarded for a summer picnic. Instead, they drowned within sight of the shore, before the ship even left the dock. On July 24th, 1969, the first men to walk on the moon returned to Earth, but instead of receiving immediate handshakes and celebrations, they were treated as though they might be carrying something deadly. After splashing down in the Pacific Ocean, Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins remained sealed inside their spacecraft. Divers approached the capsule wearing protective suits and passed biological isolation garments to the astronauts. Officials feared that invisible lunar microorganisms, or so-called moon germs, might escape and spread across Earth. The astronauts were scrubbed with disinfectant before being locked inside a modified trailer called the Mobile Quarantine Facility. Even President Nixon greeted them through a glass window. The sealed trailer was later transported to the Lunar Receiving Laboratory in Houston, where doctors monitored the crew for any signs of unknown infection. For 21 days after leaving the moon, the astronauts remained in isolation. Finally, on August 10th, the doctors released them. Nothing dangerous had followed them home, at least nothing science could find. On July 24th, 1851, Britain finally stopped taxing something no one should have to live without: sunlight. For 155 years, the government charged homeowners according to the number of windows in their houses. Introduced under King William III, the window tax was meant to measure wealth without investigating private incomes. But people quickly discovered a disturbing way to avoid paying. They sealed their windows with bricks. Openings disappeared behind walls, and homes became darker, colder, and increasingly airless. In crowded neighborhoods, poor families were forced into damp rooms with little sunlight or ventilation. Doctors warned about these conditions as it encouraged the spread of deadly diseases, including typhoid and cholera. Yet taxation remained in place for generations, turning daylight into a luxury that many could no longer afford. After years of protest from physicians and public health campaigners, Parliament finally repealed the window tax, but the bricks did not immediately disappear. Even today, sealed windows remain visible on old buildings across Britain, ghostly reminders of the time when the government placed a price on light. Another day, another strange bite from history. Like, comment, and subscribe. Your next eerie dose is just a day away.